very definition of the fence, well, it's the intention to resolve with authority. The methodology behind it is simple: to control one's personal space. In conflict resolution, especially when there is a perceived physical threat, we must be in a position to be able to control our personal space. The signals we send out will determine the outcome. The verbal interaction we use helps to determine the outcome. But over 50% of the message that we emit is our non-verbal communication signals. Therefore, it is paramount that we send out the right signals to the human mind to try to resolve conflict. Shoto-Chi is an art that deals in resolution, not fighting. That's why we use a fence technique versus the traditional close-fisted guard. Straight away, if I put a close-fisted guard in front of you, I'm sending signals to your brain that I want to fight. We're not looking to do that in Shoto-Chi. We are looking to resolve. That is why you are now about to learn the dynamic technique known as the fence. It looks quite simple, and it is, but it's understanding the signals we send out to the brain and how that reacts with that brain. Why? Because by understanding that, we know what we've got a good idea of knowing what that person's going to do before they actually know it themselves. Why? Because we are strategically positioning our body movements to send out signals to that brain. That's why the fence is so powerful. There is no truth, only perception. When you grasp that concept, you're in a better position to resolve conflict. Understanding that we all perceive things differently, and let's try and find a middle ground that's in the best interest of both parties. I don't want to send out a signal to you that I want to fight. I want to send a signal that I'm asking you to back off and that I want to resolve this conflict. That's why the palms are so critical. The placement of those palms and everything else. And that's what we're going to move forward with in other techniques, with other exercises. So if I've gone back with the fence, now there's somebody possibly there. I can now move this backhand, as we said earlier on. This is a non-verbal communication hand, not this. I'm now in a position where I can be here, you need to back off as well. Now you see here, I haven't taken my eyes off the main point of contact, but I've let that person know that I'm completely aware of them. You can see in my sharpness even of my fence, I can put a lot more sharpness stepping forward because I know my mentality needs to be a lot more authoritative. So there's exercise 5. Stepping forward, stepping back, understanding that our thought patterns slightly change as we take more control and step forward, but it's all about your confidence. So 55% of the communication is the non-verbal signals that we send out. So what about the other 45%? Well, now we need to touch base on the verbal aspect. So if 45% of the communicated message is verbal, that still leaves a lot of play within a conflict situation. We can all be very, very good at putting a fence technique across, but if we don't have the right dialect to follow it up, it could be meaningless. So let's look at the verbal aspect. 7% of our overall message are the actual words that we choose to use. 7%. 38% is in how we put those words across. It's not what we say, it's how we say. Words can be your best tool or your worst weapon. Let's choose to use them as a tool and not a weapon. We should never use words to attack other people. It's childish, it's immature. Shoto-Chi's conflict psychology we teach by 5 messages. Remember to keep calm and in control of your emotions is the first one. The second one, which is the largest debatable message out the 5, is remember words can never harm you. So you're thinking, well, that's not true. Yes, it is. So let me explain. Words cannot harm you if you do not let them.